Okay, it's time for the debut. Here we go. Just gonna try to get the mic out of the shot. All right, here we go. This will be my first actual official gaming video on this channel. I decided that I'm gonna start doing some game content. I wanna do the movie reviews again at some point. It's been freaking almost a year since I did the last one. It's been years since I've been able to do them regularly. I almost never have time to go see them anymore. I might go check out some ones recently. There's the Welcome to Marwyn and some other ones that look decent that I'm probably going to check out. I guess I have to review Aquaman because that's going to be the big one. But for now, I want to get gaming content. I want to actually kind of bring the stream together. So I'm going to be doing a campaign run through of my favorite game of all time, StarCraft, and StarCraft 2. Of course, this is StarCraft Remastered, the reskinned version. This is what the original 1998 version looked like, and that beautiful 4:3 aspect ratio that we all just adore. But no, we're going to do a single-player run-through. It's going to be kind of experimental, and we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to try to have some fun with it anyway, and maybe I'll get creative in the editing room. We'll see. I lost the booklet forever ago of the backstory, because this is the thing that sucks about games that came out from prior to 2000s. You needed to read the instruction book in order to get the backstory correct. So I'll try to summarize the 3 races of StarCraft as quickly in most brief fashion as I can ever. The game takes place 500 years from now. There was an ancient race called the Xel'Naga. They were these ultimate aliens. They were basically gods of their time. They were dying out, and they knew they had to create new life. And so they tried to find creatures that had purity of form or purity of essence, because that's what creates them. Form, or essence being the ability to adapt to change to environments, and form being psychic and physical perfection, and together it would be the perfect life form, and that's who the Xel'Naga were. They went to the planet Ire, and they discovered the Protoss. They lived amongst the Protoss. They gave the Protoss great intelligence and great psychic powers, because they believed the Protoss could master purity of form, which they did. And the Protoss started getting angry and jealous of each other, trying to fight for the admiration of their gods, and they ended up butchering each other and creating this great war that broke out between all of their tribes and all their factions. The Xel'Naga were heartbroken by this, and they left. There was no end in sight to the great war that they had until a Templar called Cass discovered the Kala, which was basically a psychic link, the weird hair that the Protoss guys have. It's their nerve cords. It connects them to this psychic chain, and they basically can feel each other's emotions and thoughts, and they all became one unit, and united they created the greatest technology of all time, and they expanded through the galaxy, and now they're super powerful psychics. The Xel'Naga moved on, and they discovered a planet called Xeris. They created the Zerg for purity of form. They created the Overmind, which is a large brain entity that could command the Zerg. The Overmind became so powerful psychically that he discovered his creators. And the Zerg are capable of basically, they start out as worms. They dig into their host, and they can assimilate their DNA, and they can then rapidly evolve and assimilate that DNA into their gene pool in order to basically rapidly become the most deadly biological creatures in the world. And they turned on their creators, and they killed off all of the Xel'Naga, and they now seek to assimilate the Protoss. And basically the game starts when the Zerg first arrive in this sector. And our story will start with us playing as the Terrans, which is humanity. Earth becomes overpopulated. The United Powers League becomes this giant government that commands everything, and inevitably they start trying genocides. They start doing all this stuff to try and stem the population growth, and eventually they send out ships full of cryogenically frozen prisoners and all sorts scientists, all sorts of other people to try and colonize new worlds. The 4 ships crash lands on 3 planets: Umoja, Tarsonis, and Moria. Umoja isn't particularly important in this. They just become like a band of like scientists and with a small military. Moria, those people become the Kelmorian Combine, which is like this giant business / government, and it's like the ultimate mining power. It's basically a shipping company and a mining company merged and became like a corporation so big it became a government. And Tarsonis brought the Terran Confederacy, who is like major to at least the first half of the story. The Terran Confederacy goes to war with the Kelmorian Combine to try and maintain mining rights and capture territories. Inevitably, the Confederacy completely overpowers the Kelmorian Combine. Peace treaty signed. Now the Confederacy is like the ultimate like superpower fascist dictatorship of the galaxy, and there are small rebel factions trying to fight them. And in this campaign, we're gonna skip the tutorial. In this campaign, I guess I, as the player, start off as the we'll read it here, and I'll describe it as we go.
Adjutant online. Good evening, Magistrate. I'll fill you in on what's been happening.
Actually, I think we have to start the tutorial to get the neat little... There it is, okay. Rebel Yell campaign. In the decades since the end of the Guild Wars, which was the Kelmorian Combine and the Confederacy, the Terran Confederacy has stood unchallenged in its supremacy over colonized space. All that changed in 4 days when the alien fleet emerged from warp space and laid waste to the unsuspected Confederate colony of Mar Sara, this being the Protoss, who humanity has lived in the same region of space as the Protoss for decades now, but the Protoss have like a law that says they can't interfere with like smaller species, but the Zerg invasions are what take them out of hiding. The Confederacy, fearing that the aliens' fleet's next target will be the colony of Mar Sara, has sent you to me to intervene. Acting as magistrate, you are to safeguard the colonists and keep their state of panic from escalating any further. Easy peasy. Boot camp. We're gonna skip this.
Welcome to Mar Sara, Magistrate.
Thank you.
The equipment demonstration you requested is prepared and may be initiated at your convenience. Simply select Start to begin.
Yeah, we're gonna skip the tutorial. As magistrate, I'm basically in charge of colonists on this very small backwater planet.
Adjutant online. Good evening,
Unsuspecting
Magistrate.
planet.
I'll fill you in on what's been happening. Confederate traffic has increased substantially within the system due to the recent Protoss destruction of the Mar Sara colony. The Confederates have tightened security on all outlying systems, and it's likely that this colony will be locked down as well. An encrypted Confederate transmission came for you while you were at dinner. Replaying transmission.
Greetings, Magistrate. I'm General Edmund Duke of the Confederate Security Forces Alpha Squadron. The Confederacy has quarantined this entire planet, and we'll proceed with a lockdown within 48 hours. You're to relocate your core colonists to the outlying wastelands. Now, I know there won't be any problems with these new arrangements.
I have a problem or two.
Transmission ended. I have contacted the local marshal, James Raynor. Raynor has agreed to meet your personnel en route and escort them to the new Wasteland site.
Alright, so this mission is stupid. And I know... like, I skipped tutorial. This mission's just basically another tutorial mission.
Go, go, go. Can't believe we're being sent to the Wasteland. These Confederates think they can push anybody around.
I know, man, right? It's shitty.
Let's move.
Hey, there's the man.
Howdy, boys. I'm Jim Raynor, marshal of these parts.
The story gets way more interesting. There's some Zerg. Zerg are invading us. Here's my base.
Reporting for duty. Roger that.
Not enough minerals.
This is Jimmy.
So it's just basically a dumb mission showing you how to build units. It's pretty goddamn straightforward. It's kind of a waste of time, but while we're at it, I might as well go into a little bit more detail on the, I guess, the storyline and what's happening. Basically, the Zerg
Sounds fun.
want to assimilate
SCV good to go,
humans
sir.
into their ranks.
Affirmative.
Location
Go
right
ahead,
there.
Commander.
They want to assimilate humanity into their ranks because they fear that they won't be able to just take on the Protoss upright when they try to assimilate them. And we are just a bunch of poor redneck colonists in the middle of God knows fucking where.
SCV good to go, sir.
On lockdown because the Protoss
Affirmative.
basically purified
Orders received.
our sister colony of Mar Sara. This is Mar Sara, is this planet. So,
Right on. This should
and
be
Good to go, sir. Roger that. Right away,
basically,
Raynor here.
humans have never seen aliens quite like
Right on.
either race before. There is actually a prequel thing.
Right on.
sir. Yes, sir. I can't build there. Job's
Barracks,
finished.
let me know.
Roger that.
This is Jimmy.
There is a prequel to this. It's basically like a demo pack that they had back in the day. Like you could just download these maps, and it was 5 missions, and it was like a demonstration of the game, and it was like the Zerg's invasion of Mar Sara,
Right on.
and the Confederates send you to like repel them, and then the Protoss invade. But that doesn't even happen. Like you don't even fight Protoss in that one. It's kind of silly.
Report for
And I need
duty.
to build 5
This
Marines.
is Jimmy. Oh
Or
yeah.
green. Ugh.
This should be good.
I guess, what are some other kind of important things to note here?
This is Jimmy. Sounds fun.
I might as well talk more about the story since this mission is so freaking pointless.
Right on.
Job's finished. Yes, sir.
Infantry units such as Marines can be trained at this
Yes, they
facility.
can, and we're doing that now. Yes. Yes, we can. Let's make sure there's no Zergling. You don't even get attacked in this mission. That's the thing that's so funny to me. You don't even get
Sounds
attacked.
fun.
There's Zerglings out there. Like, you can just fight them. But,
This should be good. Give me something to shoot. Standing
just gotta
by.
build 4 more
Raynor here.
Marines and we win the mission.
Sounds fun.
Some other details is humans discover that they have psychic potential, and there are like super soldier programs where
Give me something to shoot. This is
humans are basically trained from a young age to try and control their psychic powers, and those agents become called ghosts, and they're like these super soldiers. We get to control some of them later. The psychic thing is kind of funny. Like some of them are like telepathic and all this shit, but like you don't get to see them do anything really crazy till like the sequel game. For the most part, they're just like special agents.
Right on.
But basically, the Zerg think that this psychic potential, if they can assimilate that, will give them the edge against the Protoss.
This should be good.
The
Oh yeah.
other major faction that we should discuss, since we just won the game. I'm not ordinarily going to do 2 missions in a row because this one's so pointless. We're going to do a second one in a row. Victory! Oh my god. It's dumb. This game starts off so slow, but then it picks up. That's all I can really promise. This first campaign, though, is really...
Receiving
It's interesting,
incoming
but-
transmission. Comlink established.
Hey, what's up, man? Got your refugees tucked in nice and tight. Provided you can sidestep any more surprises from our Confederate friends and we can keep them away from those critters, they should have an easy
Original
time.
mode.
Priority
He's
alert.
bald as hell.
Backwater station under attack by unknown alien
Oh, no.
organisms. Distress beacon activated at 0658. Alerting Confederate headquarters on Tarsonis. Stand by for incoming transmission.
We've already received the distress beacon from Backwater, and we'll take care of it. You just sit tight.
Have a Marco
You'll be
Rubio moment
notified
here.
if there's anything we think you need to know.
Damn. Listen, if we wait for Confederate reinforcements, that station's dust. I'll head out there now and do what I can. You send in some militia, and we'll save those folks. Trust me.
I trust you. Who couldn't trust that face?
Glad to see you, boys. Time to kick some serious butt. Anytime you're ready.
Alright, but yeah, so now we're on the next mission where we actually get to do stuff in this. So those Zerg creatures that were just attacking us have now attacked the local outposts of Backwater Station here. As the briefing told you, we don't really trust the Confederacy to actually get here in time. All the way from another planet. So we're going to intervene ourselves despite their orders. Jimmy's feeling bold today. Jim Raynor, Jim Raynor. The other thing is the Confederacy nuked the planet of Korhal. Pretty much eliminated Korhal's population in order to, yeah, that's the OG mode. So fuzzy. Because the planet was being rebellious and non-compliant, and so they went for the nuclear option, literally, and nuked that planet. And now, the son of one of that planet's major political figures, Arcturus Manx, or Agus Manx was the name of the guy, but Arcturus Manx is his son, who ends up being a major character in this game later on, leads a rebellion against the Confederacy for them to basically pay for their war crimes.
Not enough minerals.
This should be good.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir?
This mission is also stupid easy. Like, the enemies will not attack you. We just need to actually attack them. Like, they'll attack us here if I bomb them.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir?
It's also one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Raynor here. This should be good. What the hell is that? Looks like the ground there is alive.
Yep, that's creep.
SCV good to go, sir.
This should be good.
Wow, I completely fucked that up. Not even trying.
Reporting
For the record, Zerg is my favorite race, and I'm very excited to play as them later on in this game. But for now,
Yes, sir? Right away, sir.
sure, build a refinery. Yes, that's our other major resource is Vesperian gas, on top of the minerals that we're mining here.
Yes, sir?
And build it. Alright, there
Go
we go.
ahead, Commander.
Here is Backwater Station, everybody.
Thanks for the rescue. We've been holed up in these bunkers for days hiding from the Zerg.
This should be good.
For
These
days.
things have been out here a while, but they could be pretty useful.
They've been out here for days? That's absurd. Alright, we got a new unit, everybody.
Go ahead, Commander.
It's a fire bat.
Piece of me, boy. Naturally.
It's got a little flamethrower.
Finished.
That one's purple. When we build new ones, we're gonna have blue ones because we're blue. That's our team color.
SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Raynor
Not
here.
enough minerals.
Anytime you're ready.
Just
SCV good to go, sir.
Right
these
on.
spider mines will become very, very useful later on.
This should be good. You want a piece of me, boy? Right on.
I promise.
This should be good.
Come on, come on.
SCV good to go, sir.
Yeah, that's why.
This should be good.
That's why they're good. Because they do shit.
Yeah.
They're derpy. That's the thing that's funny. This game is really derpy. It has a history of derp.
Jacked up and good to go. This is Jimmy.
Not enough minerals.
Orders received. SCV good
Not
to go,
enough
sir.
minerals.
I don't know how hard I'm gonna go onto this. I could take an eternity and upgrade all my units and do all sorts of crazy stuff.
SCV good to go,
It's
sir.
not really necessary.
Yes.
SCV
So
good
we're
to
gonna
go,
have
sir.
all our fire bats, I think, on hot 3.
Anytime you're
And
ready.
everybody else on
Piece of
2.
me, boy. This is Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
We want the fire bats going in first.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger that. Right away, sir.
Jacked up and good to go. Rock and roll. Go ahead, Commander. Fire it up. This is Jimmy. Anytime you're ready. Want to turn up the heat? Anytime
Two,
you're
three.
ready. Yes.
There we go.
Piece of me, boy.
Yeah, I do want a piece of you, boy.
Let's move. Anytime you're ready. Want to turn up the heat?
Generally, you don't make a lot of fire bats. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty much only going to be making them in missions to fight Zerg, and even still, the Marines will more than get the job done, for the most part. Alright.
Fire it up. Slam it. Anytime you're ready. Want to turn up the heat? Piece of me, boy. Slam it.
That's why we use them against Zerg, though. They toast them good.
Jacked up and Raynor here. Give me something to shoot.
New control group, I guess.
Go, go, Turn up the heat. You got
I also could totally make skin syntax a thing, but
rocket mission. Fire it up. Turn up the heat. This should be good. Fire it up. You got it. Jimmy.
LTV good to go, sir.
I really should be making more shit, but it's the second mission of the game. I'll try harder. Ramps, my one weakness. Oh god, yeah. When we get to actually like StarCraft 2, that's when things become a little bit more streamlined. A lot of fans hate it. I kind of mixed. I think they tend to ball up more in the second game. They infested that command center, man.
Burn it, boys. Sounds fun.
Burn it to the ground.
Fire it up.
I might also end up doing the Mass Recall, which is like this remake of this game that a bunch of fans did on the second game's engine, and it's actually kind of cool. It helps convey the story a little better, but I wanted to stay authentic. Alright, it's dead. There it is.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Sometimes the shit's delayed.
By destroying the vital Confederate installation, you and your men have violated standing colonial law. As of right now, you're all under arrest. I suggest you throw down your weapons and come peaceably.
Are you out of your mind? If we hadn't burned that damn factory, this entire colony could have been overrun. Maybe if you hadn't taken your sweet time in getting here.
Now, I asked you nice the first time, boy. I didn't come here to talk with you. Now throw down them weapons.
Guess you wouldn't be a Confederate if you weren't a complete pain in the ass.
And so even though we did the right thing, and we saved the day, and we helped the colonists, the Confederacy is being a bunch of dicks, and they're arresting our good friend Jim Raynor. And all sorts of other shit's gonna happen too, because they were very mad about it. But we're gonna go on to the third mission. That's also an easy mission, but we're not gonna include it in this video because the objective is literally to survive for 30 minutes. I'm not doing that. I'm not extending this another 30 minutes. That will be its own video. Thank you all for watching. We'll see ya when we come back around to Mar Sara and we find out what the consequences were for our actions. See you next time.